So the law of respect in marriage it's a pretty big one, because everybody loves the boundary message that says, you can stand up to mistreatment, stand up to abuse and say, no, I don't want to do that, or, be free and all this kind of stuff. And everybody likes to be empowered. What we don't like is the do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So we want everybody to love our no. But how do you do when you hear the no of others? Do you withdraw love? See, if they've got the freedom to say, I want to do this, and they go, well, no, I don't really like that. Do you take that as well, then you don't love me? If you really cared about me, you would. And see, what we do is we tend to step over the line and not respect the no of another person. And so when somebody says, don't do that, that hurts me, then do we respect that no? Do we respect it and treat it like we would want to be treated? Or do we say, no, it doesn't hurt, or I didn't mean that, or minimize it in some way? Or do we respect it? Or we want to do something and they don't want to do that, they want to make a different choice or whatever. Do we respect it and listen to it? Or if they don't want to spend time with us at that moment, do we respect that and give them the freedom that they need to have some time for themselves? Or there's a million different ways, all the way down to the hardest one, which is, what if they've got a pattern of behavior that we want them to change, and we're talking to them about that and this, that, and the other, and they're not. They say, no, they're going to keep drinking. Well, or keep using drugs or something destructive. You got to respect that no. Does that mean allow it, enable it? Absolutely not. It means that you understand you can't do anything about it. So what that does is it frees you for the first time to become helpful. And then you can say, okay, I get it. You don't want to stop using heroin, but if that's your choice, then I've got to make some choices as well. So I can't be living with you while you're on drugs, or while, whatever else is going. See, God ultimately respects somebody's boundaries in that, like the rich young ruler, Jesus said, here's what's required, and he didn't want to do that. And he said, okay, I get it. You don't want to do that. Joshua said this as well. Remember Joshua's most famous verse? I always ask Christians, audiences, what's Joshua's most famous verse? And everybody says, choose you this day whom you're going to serve. As for me and my house, we'll serve the Lord. Right, that's true. That's his most famous verse. Maybe the one about courage, but probably that one. And then I ask him this. Tell me the verse right before that. I don't think I've ever had anybody answer that question. Nobody knows the question before. You know what it says? It doesn't say, just choose you this day whom you're going to serve. He said this right before it. He says, if it's disagreeable to you to serve the Lord, then serve whom you will. But as for me and my house, we'll serve the Lord. If it's disagreeable for you to get off heroin, then I guess you're going to stay on heroin. But as for me, I'm not going to live in an addicted house. I'm not going to live in an abusive house. So it's about respecting what God has said every person has, and that's their freedom to make their choices. But what we can do is we can respect them enough to do everything we can to influence that. That's the difference.